Hello. During my sessions that used to be live, and now during my online sessions, a lot of people ask me about speech flow. They ask me, how do you get a speech flow like the leaders? How do you get a speech flow that is uninterrupted, like a constantly flowing stream, like a fountain that gushes all the time, like a waterfall coming down a hill, which continues to come down no matter what. Sometimes the flow may be more, sometimes the flow may be less, but the flow is never ending, it never stops. So, friends, today I'm going to talk to you about this thing. What is speech or communication flow? What is speech flow? What is the flow of uninterrupted words and sentences that make a lot of sense, which become very, very attractive for your audience to watch? So, today we are going to talk about what is speech or communication flow. And speech and communication flow actually begins right here. Just imagine if the flow of thoughts is interrupted. So, the moment your flow of thoughts gets interrupted, can your speech remain free flowing? Can your speech, because what is feeding the speech? The speech is being fed by the mind. The mind has to constantly think of the next thing to say while preparing what the mind is saying right now. It's got to multitask, and it's got to keep the purpose in mind all the time, that this is my purpose, this is what I've come here for, and I have this much time. And then you go on and on. So that's the beauty of communication, and that's the strength of your mind. Your mind is something that can absolutely multitask. So the mind would be able to give you the next idea, it would be able to connect that and this, and it would give you a constant flow of words that would make your audience understand what you are trying to say. So speech flow is something which is coherent, where there is no disconnection between thoughts, between ideas. Thoughts and ideas are well connected, and then they flow smoothly. So let's see how this works. Now, a lot of people also ask me, how can you design your speech flow like a successful CEO or like a big leader? There have been so many big leaders, and there are so many big leaders in the world who you can really look up to if you want to learn how to communicate. And our very own Prime Minister at this moment, Mr. Narendra Modi, is one such person. He can communicate with state heads, he can communicate with big bureaucrats and businessmen, but he can also communicate with school children. He can communicate with people from all walks of life. Now, that's the beauty of his brain. That's the beauty of the way he thinks. That is why now Barack Obama is a great speaker. If you want to speak like Barack Obama, then you've got to learn to think like him. Because all these great leaders, all these CEOs, they became great not just like that. Nobody became great just like that. So your thoughts, your articulation, and your behavior and your actions, all these things combined would make you great. It is not just thinking or talking. Yes, thinking and writing can make you very rich and famous. Thinking and speaking can also do it. But then you have to be a professional writer or a professional speaker. We are none of these. So for us, thinking is important, writing is important, speaking is important, but doing is most important. So for us, action, karma, is the most important thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, incorporate good speaking, good communication, ethical communication in your day to day life. Your karma will improve. Communication is a way of life. Remember that. All right. Now, let's go ahead and see how does speech flow help you become more and more successful. I feel that in almost all professions, speaking is important, connecting is important. But if you're in a job or if you're in a business, it is more important. See, through this, you build a network. Through this, through your communication, you learn how to speak. And when you learn how to speak, you learn how to sell, you learn how to lead, you know how to get results. And as you grow, you continue to learn. As you continue to learn, you continue to become more and more valuable to businesses. It's all about value. How much value can you provide? And this value proposition has communication at its core. People who can communicate well can add more value. If I have a choice, 4 candidates, all fully qualified, very good, highly experienced, but one of them a better communicator, then I would always go for the better communicator, the rest of the things being equal. Because that person would always be more effective, especially in collaboration and team building and getting across to customers. So, a person with better communication would actually be able to reach out better. That's my thought. I may be wrong. Now, let's see how we can bring this about. All right. So, what is the best way to get into a very, very good speech flow? Now, the only way to get into a good speech flow is to remove barriers. And most of these barriers, my friends, are internal. If you're looking for enemies, you don't have to look outside. Your biggest enemy lies inside. It is your procrastination. You're postponing things. You're not working on yourself. You're not doing the right thing at the right time. Your neglect of your own happiness, of your own well being. So, all the barriers also they remain in our minds. So, first get rid of those barriers. Physical barriers are easy to remove, my dear friends. Mental or internal barriers, my God, you may not be able to remove them for a lifetime. So, friends, I'd like you to look at all this, to become a receptor of people's communication, become a great receptor, become like a cricket player who never misses a catch. So, catch everyone's communication. Receiving or listening to people patiently does not mean you agree with them. This is the first barrier you must remove. that if you listen to someone, it does not mean you agree with that person. This and many other things. So I'll leave the rest of the things for the next videos, but in this one I've told you why speech flow, what it does for us, how it can be developed, and what is the best way to have a smooth speech flow. So to all of you, happy speaking, happy speech flow. Thank you very much, and do watch my next video also, and the previous ones which are already there. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow.